All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we're going to be looking at 3 days with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, and this has been great. Now, at the current recording of this video, you can still grab this device for $9.99, fully unlocked from Best Buy. I've got a couple of videos talking about that, so just go in there, hit those links below, and you'll see Activate Today. All that's doing is activating. You're not activating it technically, but you're upgrading through Best Buy system, and that's how you can get the $800 off. But you're paying full cost, so you're not financing anything. You're paying that $1,000 up front or whatever. So just check it out. It's totally worth it. It's legit. This is a fully unlocked Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, and at $1,000, you win, because I won with this one. So price aside, without the discounts, this is an expensive device, and even at $1,000 up front, most people don't have $1,000 to give to a cell phone. But I'm a creator, and I love tech, and I invest a lot of money into my channel, and this is just one more thing that I'm bringing to you like I do every year. So I love the Z Fold 2, and I got that one on a discount with a trade, I believe, but not having to do a trade this time and getting the price even lower than what I paid before, I think it's a great deal. So price without discounts, it's expensive, folks, and the value to me still isn't there for price if you have to pay that full cost. If you don't have any trades or anything and you can't get this great deal, the value's still not there for the device, and we'll talk about that later on. But nonetheless, this is a fantastic piece of hardware, and that's what we want to look at next here. The hardware on this is what I expected it to be. The first time that I bought this device, I kept it for maybe 3 weeks to a month or so before getting rid of it, just to swap out colors. But you know, you've heard me tell that story before. I just got caught in that back order window, and so I gave up on it. And so I'm glad I waited, because here we are 3-4 months later, and boom, I got it at a great price, and I got the color I wanted. So hardware on here, I've made some changes. So let's talk about this. When I first got it, I've already put out a video showing you my favorite case so far is this one right here from VRS. This is the creamy white color, very limited color it appears, but you can still find it. I'll have a link to it down below. But once I put my white stone dome glass on here, I could not use the front part of the case without it lifting. So I took it off, and I thought, you know what, screw that. I want to be able to wear this case because I love this case, and I think it's just one of the best cases out there. A little slippery, but it's going to give you that drop protection that you need. Now, as far as the screen protector on here now, I have a matte screen protector on here, and this is just one of the old matte screen protectors I had from my Z Fold 2. So it does work. It lifts a little bit on the corner with that case, the way I put the screen protector on, but you know, hey, it's definitely better than not being able to use a case at all. So I've changed out the clear screen protector that was on here, and I went from dome glass, easy glass, and now I'm with the matte screen protector, because I really like matte anyway. And then I've got a video out already with the sticker bomb skin from SophieGuard.com. This is what you could expect if you get these sticker bombs. I just put this on here. They sent me 3 different skins back when I got my initial Z Fold 3, and those 2 are black, and I use this one just because of the colors. It looks better with silver. Not my first choice in a skin, obviously, but in fact, you know, the color combination flows well with the silver, so I just left it on here because it's going to be in a case most of the time. But this actually gives a soft touch matte feel to it, and it gives it some type of grip, which actually feels pretty good. So aside from me dressing up the device like that with a matte screen protector and a skin, the hardware on here is absolutely great. You get this huge display here, and the display itself is absolutely great. I mean, let me load up a video here. Mr. J.L. Williams, 4K weekend. I like to use this this video because it really shows the device itself, how good it is. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the full screen mode here. I'm going to crank the brightness way up just to show you just how great this device really is for watching media consumption. This thing is incredible. So let's crank this all the way up to 4K. As you can see there, and I should be able to anytime I want to do something on video, it trolls me. There we go. I was about to say, I know I could zoom in because I like to feel it like this. This is absolutely beautiful, folks. This is a way to watch content. I mean, this looks good, but man, do I like watching it like this. The full display like this, 5x4, is when recording it and then watching it like this is absolutely beautiful. So the detail in this is so good. And I obviously use a Sony camera to record this with a Sigma lens, so the video itself is really clear. But just watching content on here, let's go forward here to some of the content where I'm actually talking about the showing the water and everything. So this is good. Now let's take a listen to the speakers. Beautiful, beautiful screen, folks. There's, man, I'm telling you, watching content on here with this beautiful big display, this is one of the best parts of the hardware. I kid you not, that is just a phenomenal screen for watching content or getting things done. It is just really good. This has got to be, and this is obviously one of the reasons a person would actually buy this device, is for this big ginormous screen that opens up into a small tablet. I believe this is 7.6 diagonal, and it's totally worth it. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this when it comes to looking at content for media consumption, depending on what you're doing. This is absolutely just fantastic. So another part of the hardware, obviously, is being able to fold the device in these different positions. Now, the Z Fold 2 couldn't do a lot of positions like this, but the Z Fold 3 has these different positions that it could do, and I think that's really cool that you can do it like this. So, especially when you're using like the camera, it really gets into the gist of this device, being able to have your controls down here, and then when you're doing video chatting and things like that, it's really, really nice. So if I take a picture here, let's see here, it pops up over here on the side, and you get to see you know, the picture you just took. So yeah, this is a great, that's just a pretty good picture just for a quick little sample photo. But yeah, having the ability to fold the device is actually really nice, and I think that says a lot about what Samsung is doing for folding devices. And that's just another great part of the hardware. Now, this hinge on the back here is really, really strong. I've never had a problem with my Z Fold 2 hinge, and I don't anticipate having a problem with this hinge. Now, you might see a little creases in there, but remember, I have a matte screen protector film on the back of this hinge to protect it. And plus, I've learned that putting that matte film protector on here, just any protector on here, makes the hinge even stiffer, which is what I like. I like being able to have the hinge really, really stiff. So stereo speakers, 3-camera setup, fingerprint reader and the power button, facial recognition. As you can see here as I swipe there, I didn't use my finger to unlock that. I used the screen, and you can see how fast the fingerprint or the facial recognition is, and the fingerprint reader is really fast. Now, you do have the option to turn on rest your finger to always on fingerprint reader, which is really fast. And I thought, I don't think I want to do that. I'll just use the facial recognition when I want to do something with unlocking the device other than pressing the button, because that was something that people complained about when they first got this phone, and I guess they didn't know they could go in and do a option to turn it on for rest. So you have your SIM tray here and volume rocker here, and these are positioned perfectly for me. I really like how they feel. And again, you got Type-C microphone down there, your canceling microphones. It's just a good setup for the hardware. And on the back here, if you ignore this big vibrant skin here, you do have a 3-camera setup. 12 megapixel, 12 megapixel, 12 yeah, you get it. Samsung does great for cameras, and video on this thing is gonna be fantastic. I don't see why a person would not like video on here. There's a lot of different modes in the camera that you can do, and I personally I like that it has pro video for the rear camera, and I like that it has portrait style video and then director's view. Director's view is one that some people just don't use very often, but this is in fact a part of the phone that's just stunning. It's a piece to use for creation. If you're a creator, and if you're not a creator, you can become a creator, and that's the best part about it. Being able to shoot edit, do everything right on the device is great. And then that director's view can help you out. So you have portrait photos as well, single take, and then so on. You've got your video, obviously. You can shoot video at 4K 60. It's the highest limit that you have there. Now, if you're shooting 4K 60 with the LED on, sometimes you'll get this warning here, unfortunately, that you can have overheating issues. And I think that's kind of sad at this point in the game. I don't like that about this device, because if I needed to use my device for a long period of time, 20, 30 minutes, which I had before shooting content, you get that error message and the device will shut the camera off to prevent it from overheating. So while that is a preventative thing to help you out, it's kind of annoying to me. Now, one thing I like is being able to turn on the back side of the display here. You get an LED screen right there to help viewfinder for these cameras up here. So the person you're filming, or if you're filming yourself, you can see if you're in view or everything like that. And that was one of the best parts about the Z Flip 3 that I absolutely love. So cameras, quality, everything is great on here. I don't have to go too far into detail on that. I've already got a camera review up on this device, so be sure to check that out. Yeah, you're not missing out on anything with that. So if I could complain about one con on this device, is essentially it is just the front display. When you're typing sometimes on the keyboard, it's a little cramped at times, so trying to actually type might be kind of weird. But this is 25:9 on the front for the screen, and you guys know I like 21:9, so 25:9 is fantastic for me. I have no problem with this device at all. So when I'm using this device like this, I tend to use the swiping gesture for the typing input, or I use voice. You can use voice to text, and it's just as good. It's really close. It's not as accurate as Google's voice to text, but it is very no errors or anything like that. But I don't think it flows along as smooth, and some words it might not pick up that easy like the Google Assistant does. But nonetheless, I've been using voice when I want to text or send an email or something like that, and I don't want to open the device. So, that is a huge part of me using this device every day. Now, I definitely use the device like this more. This is probably the way I use it all the time. So with no issues with typing or anything like that, this is a big screen, man. And so as you saw me typing earlier, this is not the default keyboard. The default keyboard is the Samsung keyboard right here. And it's okay. You have more options this way with the Samsung keyboard, but I don't like to type like this. And having it together like this, something about this is just not as accurate as Gboard. I have more spelling errors with this keyboard than any other keyboard that I use. So while I don't like how big this is, I've tried to shrink this down, but it just won't adjust in the settings. It'll go bigger, but this is just kind of the smallest I could get it when trying to adjust the preferences and the size. So let me show you. Let me see if I can find it here, because I think that's still too big, but I wanted to turn on where is it at? Height short. See, I have it set at short right now, and it's still just not, that doesn't look short at all. That looks huge right there. So, it's up to you to determine if you want to use this or use other keyboards. SwiftKey is another one that I thought about trying out. Matter of fact, let's just jump in here real quick and see if we can find SwiftKey and see if it's any better than this, because SwiftKey is actually really good. Something about SwiftKey, I don't know. I just haven't been it hasn't been one of my favorite keyboards over the time of using it. Now, when I used it on my Microsoft Surface Duo, it was great. I thought it was really good and really solid. But anyway, typing on here is going to be super easy. So this is a two-hand device when you have it open like this, but I think a lot of people will probably use this for consumption when you're doing it like this, not just movies, but emailing, texting, all these different things. That is why you would probably use the device this way. So let's talk about the one major con that I have with this device after using it so far. And now I'm a little over 3 days. I think I'm probably on day 5 or something like that, but I wanted to give you like a complete 5-day. So let me make sure, because I think I'm pretty sure I think I'm in 5 days already, I think. Yeah, once you hit 7 days, between 5 and 7 days, it completes the learning process of how you're using the device. Now, this is probably the biggest con that I have about this device is the battery. So if you look here, I'm on this is my 4th day. So if you look here, battery life for me just isn't that great. And if I have to keep power saving mode on in order to actually make it through 24-hour cycle. And that's unfortunate because this is such a phenomenal device, and I have stable internet at home. I have stable connection without Wi-Fi. I'm in an area where the 5G is fantastic. And it's just not good battery. So I've decided I'm gonna have to live with power saving mode on right now, because this device, with it being 120 hertz and all these, it's unfortunate that this is not good on battery. And the battery is 4,400 milliamps, I believe, but still it's pushing a lot. And so I understand that, but that is a huge con for me. Having to charge every day was getting annoying. So I just turned on power saving mode, not the ultra power saving mode or anything like that, just power saving mode, as you can see there. And it's, I just leave it on. I'm just gonna leave it on. I don't get my emails popping up as much, so that's that's good. I don't have all those pings for emails every few minutes because I have a lot of emails that come in. But ultimately, that's a huge con for me, having a poor battery life on here. And I don't have anything on the device that I don't have on, any of my other devices. These are all the same applications, and that's just what it is. So performance and power on here is probably what it doesn't help the battery on here. That doesn't help this phone at all. But don't let that be a deterrent for you. Some people are going to want to deal with that. And I had put a post up saying, I better not ever hear anybody say that this has better battery than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And a lot of people chime in and say, oh, no one said that. The point I'm making is you guys have to think about things first before you respond. Think it through. Think about it as though, what does he actually mean by this? Ultimately, all I'm telling you is that this battery is not as good as the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And hopefully, if someone is getting that kind of battery, tell me what you did. It's not like I want this device to have poor battery, because folks, let me tell you, a drop in the bucket for $1,000 is that can hurt, So, but that's probably one of the main downfalls of this phone is having poor battery life. It sucks having to charge several times a day. Like, I find myself ending the day, if I even make it, I have to. So through the middle of the day, I've charged this at least once back to 100. And I've learned not to let it drop down below 20%. And then even though I have super fast charging or whatever, I've just learned don't let this drop below 20%, because with my super fast charging, it takes about an hour and 15 minutes to get back to 100 from like 6% or 3% or whatever it was. So that's a 65 watt charger. So, that's just another part of owning this phone, I would say. Being able to do so much with this phone makes me kind of not give the battery a pass, but that's one thing I'm going to have to deal with, because folks, this phone is fantastic. Let's check some boxes here. While the price is a con, if you can get it on because the price is a con, I don't think the value, and as I was talking about earlier in the video, I don't think this phone is, if a person doesn't have any trade-ins or anything like that, and you're going in with this, and you're going to finance it on your carrier, even if you're financing it, paying whatever it costs per month, I don't think the value is there for a consumer based on the price and the battery and just the little kinks and things here, because software is pretty cool on here. But I'm ultimately probably gonna skin this with something else. I do have a icon pack on here or whatever now. I think it's pretty cool. But I just think paying $2,000 just because it's a folding phone still isn't. We're not there yet. Samsung's doing great with the Z Flip line. I think they need to capitalize on what the Oppo did with the Oppo Find N. Make a shorter version of this phone, because that's gonna appeal to more people, and then lower the price. You've got the Z Flip 3, and I think that's their bread and butter right now. People aren't really going out spending $1,000 on this if they can. Most people don't have $1,000 to give to a cell phone. Let's be real here. We're in the real world. And even if they did have $1,000, they're not giving it to a cell phone. They're paying the electricity bill, their rent, whatever they're paying. But in the tech community, I think we need to maintain reality. And reality is A lot of these things that are over $400 if it's a smartphone aren't worth it. In the end, this phone right here has great cameras, better battery. I'm not comparing these two phones. I'm just saying when it comes to value to consumer, this is where consumers should be shopping for high-end type of tech smartphones. This phone right here, the Pixel 5a 5G, and it has great cameras, fantastic battery, good build design, good premium feel to it, and that's just my opinion on this. But it's a lot going on here for $399, folks, opposed to $1,800 to $1,900 for this. Ultimately, you can get the same things done because our world, we're not doing a lot of business. A lot of people aren't doing business on their cell phones. They're doing social media and they're just enjoying themselves. So this is a step in the right direction with some incremental upgrades from the Z Fold 2. But I don't think if you have the Z Fold 2, you should jump out here and buy this device. I think you should stay with your Z Fold 2. And I think I've said that when I bought this initially at launch. Even before buying it at launch, I was like, I don't think anybody should just jump out there and give up their Z Fold 2 for this. So this is fantastic tech with a high price tag and poor battery. That was my experience the first go around with this phone, and I don't anticipate it being any different. But the weird part is my Z Fold 2 had way better battery than this. So maybe when they upgrade Android, the next Android version on here, it'll have better battery. And that'll give some improvements. I was gonna go ahead and do the Android 12 beta, but I was like, I'll just wait it out. I don't want to do any more beta testing. I'm good. I'm fine with that. So some things I didn't talk about in this video are the wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. It has as well. This now has an IP rating, I believe, as well. So there's a lot going on. You check the tech specs and all that kind of stuff. I just want you to enjoy my 72 hours with this thing and tell me how my 72 hours compared with your 72 hours. Do you have, because I know the battery is still learning me, but end result is I got to do what I got to do to make it through a day. That's the truth. So I need to have power saving mode turned on, and that's just what it is. If in fact I've already uninstalled Facebook, all these other applications that came on the device, disabled anything that I'm not going to use, that is gone. So, aside from that, me feeling like the price still isn't warranted and this crappy battery, folks, this is a killer phone. This is the future. But I think Samsung should now look at what Oppo did with the Oppo Find N, and it's time to make some adjustments. Because the Xiaomi Mi Fold was another great device. The Mate X2, another great device. They're all big phones. Oppo hit that sweet spot is what they did. They figured out, hey, ZTE didn't capitalize with the small screen foldable, so maybe we'll do it. So hopefully Samsung could bring the next version of this out and make it really good. But for now, this is the latest version of the folding big boy from Samsung. And folks, I got to tell you, with everything said here, I absolutely love this phone. I'm starting to feel the way I did about my Z Fold 2. As you guys know, that was my ultimate device, but having a Pixel 6 Pro now, having a 13 Pro Max, from Apple, having all these great phones that cost less, especially the Pixel 6 Pro, with cameras and battery and all these different things, I may be getting this tablet form here. I may be getting that, and I forgot the under display camera too is another part of the hardware, but I still can't see that the price is warranted for this if you have to pay full cost. If you have to pay full cost, it's gonna hurt, but you'll still enjoy the device probably, but paying full cost it's a tough one. So how do you guys feel about owning this device? If it's somebody out there that bought it based on my recommendation in the last week or so, how do you feel about it so far? Is your battery not the greatest like mine? Do you have to use power saving mode? And also, I know you're excited to get it at that great price. So, and again, folks, if you just check the links for the current pricing, but this is still, at the recording of this video, it is still $800 off. Folks, do not sleep on this. Do not wait. I think they're going to stop this pretty soon. So I hope you hurry up and get it. So check the current pricing down below. It's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.